And we are live. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Worship Guitar Show. Pleasure to have you on board. This evening, we are going to take a first journey into what I'm globally referred to as Fretboard Mastery. What exactly is Fretboard Mastery? For most worship guitar players, in the framework of worship guitar, I would define it as the idea of being able to play in any key without having to put a capo on. And then think of, oh, capo 3. And then I play the cowboy chords and call this chord right here G, as opposed to this G when this guy's actually an A. Not only that, developing, hey everybody, nice to see you jumping into the chat there. This chord right here is an A major bar chord. And if we actually know that the notes of that chord are A, C sharp, and E, and we know that the voicing of this chord, no matter where we play it, is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And if A, C sharp, and E are 1, 3, 5, and this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, this would be A, C sharp, E, and A. Now, about 5 people in the room just kind of went, whoa, wait a second. So let me peel back a couple of the layers there and point out how we've gotten to the place where we don't see those things, and building that bridge across the Jordan, how we're going to get to a place where we do. And this is one of the biggest challenges about guitar, is traditionally it's taught with great intention, but very poorly. In that, you know, if you got this open position E chord, if we'd learned from the piano, we would have known from the beginning, hey Chris, that this chord, because we would have had to know the notes to actually play them, was E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. Now we may have associated by the fact that the E major scale goes E, F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, D sharp, and E, and know that that E, G sharp, and B are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which means when we go E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E, that would be E is the 1, B is the 5, E is the 1 again, G sharp is the 3, B is the 5, and E is the 1 again. That is to say, if this is 1, 3, 5, and this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, then where this is the 3, anytime we have the 3 in the chord, it's going to be the same note. And where that's the 5, anytime we have the 5 in the chord, it's going to be the same note. And where we got the 1, that's the 1. So basically, this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And if we know this is the 1, 3, 5, which is E, G sharp, and B, if this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, it's really going to be E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. Now, that is implying that we have to have this alphanumeric relationship where we're just as comfortable with the note names as we are with the scale degree numbers, which for most of us is a flipping mind warp. And I'm totally okay with that being a mind warp, because for the majority of us, we never had the opportunity to on-ramp a straightforward process where we can look at it in a straightforward way, rather than just somebody went, hey, here's a D chord, okay. Ooh, I'm a little red, hang on. I don't like being red. Hang on a second, I'm a little red. I'm going to fix that. Give me but a moment. You shall not be that red, Mr. Doppler. Oh, look at that, instant suntan. All right, a little orange, there we go. That's better, look at all that color. Welcome to California. All right, so the deal is, now I'm still a little red though. Hang on a second. Let's get you a little bit further this way. And okay, that'll work. All right, so the deal is this, is that at the heart of the matter is the beloved, the one and only major scale. And so the thing is that if you can just look at that C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C business and just think of that instead of for the key of C for the piano, which you'll just see up above there, I thought about moving that box beforehand. I'm in the midst of a studio clean, so just ignore all that stuff there. But the key of C to the piano is what the key of E is, in my opinion, to the guitar. The reason being is you kind of start at the bottom of the neck, you go up to the top of the neck. Now, I'll actually say it's even more so for the key of G, but for what we're going to do now, the key of E is going to be the one. Now, why is this? First of all, I apologize to anybody that's being pulled along by feeling like you're being pulled along by the heels of your sneakers as I'm pulling you down the road here. But the idea is what we want to do is have a methodology that allows us to kind of go, okay, well, look, chords come from scales. So if we have an understanding of what's going on in scales, we're going to have an understanding of what's going on in chords, and they're not going to be as scary. So we've got to have the framework through which we look at this, and we've got to have a framework with which we can apply it to worship. And for example, if we're going to play this G, or we're going to play this G, what's the difference between them? Well, okay, most of your average guitar player would be like, I'm playing a different note on the second string, and that would be accurate. But the specificity of what's happening allows us to actually know, hey, wait a second. And this is the 5, and that's the 3. And if I want to then purposely go, I forgot my key, that little old holy night there, right? Terribly played, but you get the idea. The neat thing about when you start actually, instead of just going to the old chord that you've always gone to, you kind of go. One of the things that I constantly am trying to do as a guitar player is I'm trying not to play the same chord every time. Why do I want to do that? Well, the thing about repeating yourself is if you repeat yourself, you're going to find yourself repeating yourself. As obvious that sounds, we want to have other options so we just don't feel like we're playing the same stuff over and over. And it's one of my favorite things about being able to try things in different keys, including some of those wacky keys like B flat, where I can't get away. First of all, I'm not big on capoing. In my own personal universe, I'm not going to capo shame anybody. The idea is that you want to have the ability to capo if you want to, but if you forget your capo at home, you better be able to make it through the service without being able to go, well, I don't have a capo. I guess I better go down to 7-Eleven and buy one, right? Because guess what? They ain't got one. And quite often on Sunday morning, Guitar Center ain't open yet. So you're going to be high and dry, and paper clips generally don't get the job done either. Or a tourniquet. In any case, the point being is we want to have a way of being able to get through all this in a way that is applicable and makes sense. So why do the numbers and all of this stuff make a difference? Why do we want to be thinking about the key of E, so on and so forth? So a number of, I love seeing your guys' comments here. Bring the capo shame, they deserve it. So the idea is that if we play the same chords, we're just going to feel like we're just marching around in circles, and we don't want that because we don't want to be the Christian mosh pit. Did I say that? I sure did. So here's the thing is, again, so as soon as you start fiddling around with stuff, you begin to hear the music start to pour out of it, right? If you just play the same chord, you hear the same thing. So what does this mean in a logical and applicable way? Well, ultimately, if we've got these 7 notes of the major scale, we got our 1 chord, our 2 chord, our 3 chord, our 4 chord, our 5 chord, our 6 chord, and our 7 chord, and our 1 chord. And there are different types of voices we can put there. But most worship music is focused around the 1 chord, 4 chord, and the 5 chord. And those are all major chords. So if we understand what's going on inside those chords, we begin to understand 3/7 of what's going on. So if that's an E major, and that's an A major and a B major, they're all made up of the same elements, which means if we understand one of them, we understand all three. Now, when we start adding things like the 7s, they get a little bit nuanced, but we're not going to go there right now. So as Chris Alexander, my dear beloved friend, would attest, one of the things I've been going over with my students is this concept of how we, again, extract that information up there and bring it over here. And so as you take a look, this has been verified by an actual keyboardist that the key signatures on music notations function as the equivalent of as cliff notes for piano players. What it's really telling them is which black keys to play. So when you see a sharp and a flat next to a line or a space on the staff there, it's really just telling the piano players, hey, that's where you need to be playing a black key. We don't have those considerations, G major and A major and B major and C major. We have the benefit of just being able to freeze dry that shape and move it around. But one of the things about the piano players is they'll actually have to kind of know what the notes are in that chord to actually play it. So they'll actually know this is G, B, D, A, C sharp and E, B, D sharp and F sharp, and C, E, and G. That gives them some insight into what's going on, which is actually really a help because that way you're not feeling like, and this is one of the things I ask my students and I check in with them, and I just know this is true about the state of being a guitar player. Nobody likes to feel like they don't know the stuff that they don't necessarily know what it is that they need to know, but they know they don't know it. And so they feel badly about the instrument because they don't know the things that they know they should know, even if they don't know exactly what those are. And in the significance of what rhythm guitar is all about, understanding the components of what's happening with chords is so important. So this is why I kind of started off at E. The reason being is this E major chord, as we begin to move around bar chords in the key of E major, ignore the piano guy up there for just a second. No, you know what? For a moment, I'm going to hang out here. So if you take a look up above me there at C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and C, and you think of a C as the 1, D, E, F is the 4, and G is the 5, C is the 1, F is the 4, and G is the 5. Okay? On the guitar, in the key of E, E is the 1, A is the 4, and B is the 5. Just take my word for it. All right, all we did was transpose that, okay? Now here's the deal. This chord right here, which I won't play like this, because I hate orphaning that finger over there, but as I basically take that same shape, the whole point about bar chords is that you're taking these cowboy chords, these open position chords, and then using a finger to provide some sort of bar when and where necessary. So you can play these open position chords up and down the neck. It's a great thing. I have nothing against bar chords. I don't use them as much as I use some other voicings, but the great thing about understanding what's going on with them is that if you understand what's happening there, then you can see what's happening next to them. So say, for example, I do that little modulation. If I know what this chord is, which is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, which is B, F sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp, and B, and all that changes is that note, that's like, wait a second, that's B, F sharp, B, D sharp to D. I actually know that, so it's now B, F sharp, B, D, F sharp, and B. It means I understand what's happening there, and that gives you the sense of like, right, okay, I switched from B major to B minor, and I know the notes of B major, which means I kind of can do a comparison and just see that one note, that's all that changed. And that allowed me to go from B major to B minor. But if I knew this was B, F sharp, B, D sharp, F sharp, and B, then I know this is B, F sharp, B, D, F sharp, and B. And we begin to look at the formulas of these things, and we understand the note names. We begin to make sense of what's going on. So that is to say, if you're like really feeling crafty and you're going, okay, well, if this is the 1, 4, 5, I don't know what disco song that was, but the point being is when you start adding these other things, funny or otherwise, you kind of begin to go. And the moral of the story is, as I began to add other notes to these chords that are not the same chord block over and over and over, it suggests musicality. Now, I happen to hear "Oh Holy Night" and whatever that disco song was, but the idea is that. Oh, I love this. So here's the thing: is that, and that's kind of the whole thing. Now here's the things and I'm going to jump in and answer questions in a moment and do that. I generally don't spend much time with traditional major, minor, minor 7, dominant 7, 7 sus 4, major, minor, minor 7. That one I use. Dominant 7, 7 sus 4. The minor 7, Now, we don't necessarily go into some sort of free form, hey, let's go for it, thing in the middle of worship. Or do we? So one of the things about rhythm guitar is that once you kind of figure out that playing rhythm guitar is really like soloing the entire time, but nobody knows, you all of a sudden begin to go, shh, don't let them know. But it's really kind of... Now, I wouldn't be inclined to do a run that long. But you can throw a little bit of stuff in there until it's time to come. Whatever it is that you're going to do. So getting back to these major chords, if you understand what's going on there, and you kind of go, okay, well, that's a B minor chord. If I can go, because everywhere you can play a minor chord, you can play a minor 7 chord. For me, this is way more moody. Now, I was making fun of this minor chord shape here. It really is this chord. But I will say, I'm not inclined to just sit on that chord. I'm usually going to add some sort of gentle decoration if it needs to be quiet. And the great thing about these open position chords is that, and if you're going to use a capo, when we choose to use a capo, you get all those extra flavors that you can throw in there, right? So eventually, though, we get to those mystery notes that we're like, we know that there's some notes that we can throw in, and we know that there's some notes that we can't. And I'm not just talking about, hey, we're going to play the wrong third for a major chord or a minor chord. It's where there's some additional nuance. And this is where the deeper set of knowledge comes from. So we're going to peel things back a little bit here. And I'm going to go back to this E major scale. And hey, what's going on, everybody? Great to see you. So the idea is, if you think about the order of the major scale as demonstrated on said piano above my head. I got a piano above my head. Holy cow. So if you look at C to D, it's a whole step. D to E is a whole step. E to F is a half step. F to G is a whole step. G to A is a whole step. A to B is a whole step. And B to C is a half step. So I would love it if you repeat after me. The half steps occur between. I said the half steps occur between. There we go. 3 and 4. And 7 and 1. One more time. And one more time. The half steps occur between 3 and 4 and 7 and 1. All other adjacent notes are a whole step apart, which means if we head back over to Pianoville, am I going to destroy something here if I do? There we go. If we head over to Pianoville, open low E string, Guitarville, whole step between the 1 and 2. Whole step between the 2 and the 3. Half step between the 3 and the 4, as in 1, 2, 3, 4. Whole step to the 5. Whole step to the 6. Whole step to the 7. Half step to the 1. Again, that's 1. Hold the 2. Hold the 3. And again, half steps occur between the 3 and 4 and the... There you go. 3, half to 4. Hold the 5. Hold the 6. Hold the 7. Between the what? And the 7, half to 1. And backwards. 1, half to 7. Hold the 6. Hold the 5. Hold the 4. Half to 3. Hold the 2. Hold the 1. All right. Now, the key of E major, when we start thinking about the note names, is actually going to go E, hold 2. The next note alphanumerically is going to be some sort of F. Well, from E to F is a half step. That's why it's E, hold the F sharp. A whole step above F sharp is going to be G sharp. As in 1, hold the 2, hold the 3, which becomes E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp. Half to A, hold the B, hold to C sharp, hold the D sharp, half to E. That is to say the 1 is E. It's a whole step to the 2, which will be F sharp. It's a whole step to the 3, which will be G sharp. It's a half step to the 4, which will be A. It's a whole step to the 5, which will be B. Whole step to the 6, which will be C sharp. Whole step to the 7, which will be D sharp. Half step to the 1, which will be E. E, half to D sharp, hold the C sharp, hold the B, hold the A, half to G sharp, hold the F sharp, hold the E. The moral of the story here is, you just kind of saw it, whether it was new to you or you're like, Doppler, this is old news for me. The ability to translate scale degree numbers, as in 1, hold the 2, hold the 3, half to 4, hold the 5, hold the 6, hold the 7, half to 1, into note names, E, hold to F sharp, hold the G sharp, half to A, hold the B, hold the C sharp, hold the D sharp, half to E, is ultimately where you will choose or not choose to take ownership of the fingerboard in terms of your ability to understand what's going on, because this is the gateway, the doorway to just opening all this stuff up. Because this chord right here is really just the E, G sharp, and the B played ad nauseum. So it's just an E. Every time it's an E, that's the, again, we know if it's an E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, that's the 1, hold the 2, hold the 3. So if it's E, it's a 1. If it's G sharp, it's a 3. After the 4, hold the 5. G sharp, half to A, hold the B. The 1, 3, and 5 are E, G sharp, and B. So every time we have an E like there, and there, and there, it's the 1. Every time we have a G sharp like there, it's the 3. And every time we have a B like there, and there, it's the 5. Which is why this chord is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. So what's the deal? If you can look at a chord like that you've played 5 million times and go, I get that, then you're able to begin kind of going, okay, I can do this with all these different chords. You go, this is still 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And guess what? I'm going to march on up to C. And we're going to go up to piano in my head again. So if we're in the key of, for a moment, we're going to just imagine we're in the key of C major. And I've got a chord that goes 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And you take a look over at that piano keyboard there that we were talking about a minute ago. C is our 1, E is our 3, and G is our 5. You can see that, right? C is the 1, E is the 3, G is the 5. So if this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, if this is 1, what's the note name going to be? C. And that happens here. That's still going to be C. And that happens here, and that's still going to be C. By the way, if you got a guitar, go ahead and grab it. So literally we're just playing a C major bar chord. So this note right here, this note right here, this note right here, those are all 1s. And those are all going to be C's. Now, this note right here is the 3. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And as we take a look at the 3 there, that would be E, which means that now we know this chord goes C, C, E, C. We have just 2 more notes in the chord to figure out what they are. And guess what? This is the 5. And we take a look. C, D, E, F, G, 5. Oh, that's G and that's G, which means we now know that our chord, which is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, because we went 1, 3, 5, E, G sharp, B, 1. There's my E, there's my E, there's my E, there's my G sharp, and there's my B. And that was 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. Well, this is the same thing, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And now we're looking at the key of C, and we're like, all right, our 1, our 5, our 1, 3, 5, 1 gives us C. It's a 1. The 5 is going to be what? That's right, it's G. The 1 again, that's C. The 3 is going to be what? That's right, E. The 5 is going to be what again? G. And that's C. All right. So the point being is that I'm not going to do that for 5 million chords here. What I'm giving you as a fundamental understanding is that if you learn to even begin to think of chords like that, you kind of begin to go, what are you trying to tell me, Mr. Chord? And then you begin to start having better conversations. The short version is that much of the time, if you just kind of play major chords and minor chords, you're able to stack them very easily over the major scale without a lot of drama. Let's see, I have preview mode here. So I'm going to back to live mode. Oh, good, I can go into preview mode and I can do, what's it going to do when I'm in preview mode? Oh, I see what I've got to do. No, it's not going to let me do that. Okay, I'm going to go back over here, and then I'm going to be in preview, back in live mode. Okay, that means I can change that in the background. All right, so I'm going to change a page in the PDF, and you aren't going to see that I'm doing that yet. But I want to get you to these little triads here because this is going to be important for some of y'all. Some of y'all, we're going triad hunting. Give me them triads. There we go. All right. All right, so let's head over here. Good. Ooh, let's make Mr. Doppler a little smaller. Am I locked? Yep, scene's locked. Give me a moment. Mr. Doppler, shrink you down. All right, good. Don't worry about the directions right now. All right, so what you can see there as you take a look at all that goodness is that publish. Ooh. Okay, cool. My apologies. What you can see there is 3 different chord forms. And if I play them kind of one on top of the other, they sound like that. They don't sound that good one on top of the other. But taking our concept of what we did here at C a minute ago, you can begin to go, if this is 1, 3, 5, and guess what? Gosh darn it. That should look awful familiar right now because that's the 1, 3, 5 that came out of our 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And it is. So the idea is you begin to kind of go, oh, some of these things begin to connect one another. Now, I am purposely probably going over a few folks' heads simply because I want to get the concept of like, hey, you know what? Once you can kind of begin to think of what numbers are in the chord, and then you can kind of begin to translate them into note names, this whole thing begins to make a lot of sense because you actually know what it is that you're playing. The thing is that the numbers have a lot of value because it's kind of how we take a different key, for example, G major, and A major. This is G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and this is A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Different notes, but if you were to kind of superimpose the shape over one another, that you can see they're the same. So the numeric relationship of the 1, hold to 2, hold to 3, half to 4, hold to 5, hold to 6, 7, half to 1 is the same. What's different is when I play it here, I get G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. When I play it here, I get A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G sharp, A. Well, most of us would really love to I'm changing that C sharp, which is the 3, to a D. The 3 is turning into the 4, C sharp is turning into D. Well, if this is 3 and 4, worship leader is not feeling great. They want to transpose down a whole step. That's still 3 and 4, just transposed to a different key. I know this is G, A, B, 1, 2, 3, G, A, B, C. Oh, this is G and B and G and C. And if I know this is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, that guy's the 5 there. 1, 3, 5, 1, 4, 5. And if you take a look at that shape, and that shape is directly above my head there, that's the same silly shape. And that right there is basically the 1, 3, and 5 for G major. 1, 3, and 5 for A major, B major, C major, but it's just a 1, 3, 5. It's just a major triad. We took that note right there, and we turned the 1, 3, 5 into a 1 flat 3, 5. That's the difference between major and minor. And if we in turn take that 1 flat 3, 5 and go 1 flat 3 flat 5, that's how we get diminished. Collectively, if you take that little graph that's above my head where it goes G major, the big M, little m, big M, little m, D-I-M, big M, you can think of as major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished major, and that corresponds with those chord shapes over yondery. So the first chord there, the 1 is G major. The 2 is A minor. The 3, B minor. The 4 is C what? That's a big M, right? C major. The 5 is what? D major. The 6 is what? E minor. The 7 is what? F sharp diminished. And the 1 is G major. So collectively, you can think of that as major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major, major, diminished, minor, major, major, minor, minor, major, and 1 Sorry, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And noting that all of this here, with the exception of that 7 chord, is these same 2 chords that I already showed you. G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, and E minor. If you just ignore the 7 for a minute, we can go. One, 2, 3, 4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 4, 2, 5. Now, the thing about this big jump here, sorry, I keep doing it tonight. So if this is C major, well, that's C major, it's just a different voicing, right? This one here is 1, 5, 1, 3, and this is 1, 5, 1, 3. It's just because the second string is detuned. That half step we have to play instead of going. We have to raise that note up. And guess what? 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. Wait a second. What? So if you know the bottom 5 notes in this chord, you know the 5 notes in this one. Whew. All right. Mind blown. Little decoration. So if this is 1, 5, 1, 3. Half step above the 3 is the what? The 4. Now I need to explain one little concept here such that I don't leave anybody sitting there at the bus stop kind of going, what the heck is Doppler talking about? There are 2 concepts that happen simultaneously that are related but have an onion skin quality. If you take a look at that diagram above me, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. Representing in uppercase and lowercase Roman numerals the 7 notes of the major scale. But if I were to take, for example, the 5 chord and open that up, because a minute ago I basically talked about this as 1, 5, 1, 3, and then I added the 4 there. Wait a second, how can that be the 1 if that's the 5, right? So what it is, it's kind of like a pea pod, and there's 7, your left. There's 7 pea pods that in the graph up there go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And as you open up each one of these pea pods, it's going to be 7 P's. That is to say, if I took the G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G, and I stop at its 5th note, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I took the notes of that G major scale, went G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, sorry, G, A, B, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. Again, the G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, and I start off the D note, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. Now, if you look and think about the numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the half steps occur between the what and the what? The 3 and the 4, and the 7 and the 1. Well, this Mixolydian mode, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's different. But the 1, 3, and the 5 are the same. So the thing about the modes is where we learn what they're made up of is by comparing them to the major scale. That's a big mystery for a lot of people. That is to say, I just started the major scale off of its 5th note, which was, in the case for the key of G major, just went G, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C, D. And if I took the major scale, which in this case would be G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, which you already know is G, hold the A, hold the B, half to C, hold the D, hold the E, hold the F sharp, half to G as in 1, hold the 2, hold the 3, half to 4, hold the 5, hold the 6, hold the 7, half to 1. And I took that shape, and I eventually just drag it up here. Well, our scale has that note. Well, the major scale's got that, which is why the Mixolydian mode, which is basically the major scale started off of its 5th zone, has a flat 7. Because we're comparing it to the 7th note of the major scale, it's got a flat 7. So it means that any chords that we had, if this is the 1, instead of having a natural 7, did it again. Instead of having a natural 7, it's going to go a flat 7. If I do that same thing again. No! So what I was doing is I was just cruising along playing the triads. And when I got there, I added that flat 7 so you can go, oh, that actually had some nice relief. This, after a while, versus that little bit of flavor you get when you start changing stuff up. Because a logical thing would be like, doesn't it sound best to use what I would refer to as parallel voicings? That is to say, this is 1 3 5. If this is 1 3 5, the minor is 1 flat 3 5. So this is 1 3 5, 1 flat 3 5, another 1 flat 3 5, 1 3 5, 1 3 5. Doesn't make sense to just use parallel voicings. Most of the time, yes. But every so often, choosing when and where you're going to add that additional flavor becomes important. And if you don't know what the notes are and you don't know what scale do numbers they're functioning as, you don't know. So, this concept of 7 P's, and inside each P pod there's 7 P pods, and in each P pod there's 7 P's, and you just basically compare those P's and their shape to the major scale, where the major scale goes 1, hold a 2, hold a 3, half to 4, hold a 5, hold a 6, hold a 7, half to 1. I'm just basically taking what we did kind of up and down that, and I'm just going 1, hold a 2, hold a 3, just splitting across strings, half to 4, hold a 5, hold a 6, hold a 7, half to 1. So I'm just playing it across the strings. The mixolydian mode's got a flat 7. And after a while, you begin to you can play the shapes, and you recognize the shapes, and you just know that. All right. So the point being is that there are times that I purposely use parallel voicing. I'm gonna basically this guy right here. Now a minute ago, I told you this right here. If I took the bottom 5 notes of that chord, it's the same notes: 1 5 1 5 1 3 1 5 1 3 5. It's easy for me to say 1 5 1 3 5. If I took that, that's still 1 5 1 3 5, and this would be 1 5 1 flat 3 5. Again, this is the 3. Same concept of what we did before. This is the 3. That's the flat 3. And so the idea is you just get used to seeing what you're changing there. So in this particular case, I'm on the 5th string, taking it. So let me jump back a step. 2 steps, 3 steps, 2 steps. We took 3 steps. We took this. We went, that's E. We went, okay, well, what the heck's going on there? Let's start there. So we went, all right, we're going to hang out with the key of E, which is 1, hold a 2, hold a 3, half to 4, hold a 5, hold a 6, hold a 7, half to 1. The half steps occur between what numbers? The and the what? The 3 and the 4 and the 7 and the 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. So we were just taking this guy right here is E, B, E, G sharp, B, and E. And if you look, this is E, F sharp, E, hold a F sharp, hold a G sharp, half to A, hold a B, hold a C sharp, hold a D sharp, half to E. So any note that you have that's an E, that's the 1. Any note that you got a G sharp, that's your 3. And any note that you got that's a B is your 5. So this chord is 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And we just took all that business and just slid it up the neck to here. 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1. And if you listen to this one, you can hear. And if we start here, and then start here. 1, 5, 1, 1 5 1 3 5, 1 5 1 3 5, 1 5 1 flat 3 5, 1 5 1 flat 3 5, and we're just taking that same concept, 1 5 1 flat 3 5. So now what we did was we connect the dots between the C major, this C major, and this C major, and this C minor, and this C minor, and this E minor here. So the idea, what I'm doing is instead of going 1 5 1 flat 3 5, again, if I play the C major, just like this voicing for the bottom 5 notes are 1 5 1 3 5, this is 1 5 1 3 5. Again, 1 5 1 3 5, 1 5 1 3 5. I just move this up to here, 1 5 1 3 5. But I'm going to take the 3 and lower it from the 1 5 1 3 5 to 1 5 1 flat 3 5. And then instead of going all the notes 1 5 1 flat 3 5, I'm just going to go 1 5 flat 3. And I'm just choosing instead of going. You could do this. Especially if you shorten your nails, but I really and there I am taking a parallel voicing, but it's a little bit more exciting. So I'm basically going 1 5 1 5, sorry, 1 5 flat 3, 1 2 1. That's the 5. 1 5 flat 3, 5 2 5 1 5. 1 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 1 5 3 5 2 5 1 5 1 5 flat 3 5. The Phrygian mode's got a flat 2 5 1 5. And all of a sudden, you kind of begin to go, oh, we're just taking that. And that's one of the other reasons that if you're stuck in the bar shape. Oops, sorry. It's one of the good reasons to know the note names. I'm going from B to C. That right there has to be on my F sharp. That's another D right there. I was going to reach for it. But that's another thing. I can reach for my D there, or I can play that D there. And the reason you would choose one over the other is what chord are you going to go to next? That is, say. So I don't want to go. But the sound of this string and this string, actually on this guitar, aren't that noticeable, not electrified. But when you start playing these things, you really do hear it. So if I were going to do one particular voicing where I'm walking it, I'd be inclined to follow that through as I do that. But the point being is if I know the notes in the key of G, R, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G, guess what? G, F sharp, E, D, E, D, C, D, C, B. Because that one wasn't in the key. So in the same way, we can choose to go, instead of going, hitting this and just hitting this, and we can add kind of a little kind of piano thing. I can also go. I'm basically going to go 1-5. Instead of going 1-5 flat 3, I'm going 1-5-2. Out of tune. So I'm going to do sus2 at the 6, as in G, A, B, C, D, E. Like above me, E's the 6, C's the 4, G's the 1, and B is B's the what? That's right, it's the 3. So at the 6 and the 4, I'm going to play what are called sus2s. Instead of going 1-5 flat 3, I'm going 1-5-2, and instead of going 1-5-3, I'm going 1-5-2. Then down here, instead of playing all the strings, I'm just going 1-5-3. And this guy, the 3 chord, you play what type of chord? 1, 2, 3, look down, little m, minor. So that's going to be 1-5. What type of 3 does the minor have? Instead of going 1-5-1, 3-5-1, the minor goes 1-5-1, flat 3. The 3 became a flat 3. It's got a flat 3. And then starting to mix, well, these here, even though I went from major voiced 1-5-3 to minor voiced 1-5 flat 3, they're still parallel voicings. But because I didn't do the same thing for all 4 chords, oh, come on, Doppler. So that's 1-5 flat 3. From the 5 to 6 in the major scale is how far? It's a whole step. I'm at the 3 chord, and you don't necessarily know that yet, but the 3 mode has got a flat 6. So I'm going to do that. All right, so rich voicings there. All right, so let me hit the pause button there. I just threw a ton of stuff at you. And honestly, the goal was to conceptually just go, this is what I'm thinking as I'm playing. It's actually because I made a point of kind of going, maybe it's going to be a little bit over your head, but I always brought it back so you can kind of see the threads that connected it. You may not be able to in this moment, or you may be able to kind of go, oh, I know exactly what he's doing. But the idea was conceptually, you're like, it all came back to this E major chord. And this E major scale, the half steps occur between what and what. And the concept of, as you kind of go up the neck, you're just starting off of each successive note of the major scale. That's why E major is so important, because, and let me close this idea off, then I'm going to take some questions. One of the things I'm doing with my students is I'm teaching them to think about the key of E major, A major, D major, G major, and B major simultaneously. The 1 hold to the 2, hold to the 3, half to the 4, hold to the 5, hold to the 6, hold to the 7, after the 1. Because if I can think E hold to F sharp, hold to G sharp, half to A, hold to B, hold to C sharp, hold to G sharp, half to E, and A hold to B, hold to C sharp, half to D, hold to E, hold to F sharp, hold to G sharp, half to A, and D hold to E, hold to F sharp, half to G, hold to A, hold to B, hold to C sharp, half to D, and G hold to A, hold to B, half to C, hold to D, hold to E, hold to F sharp, half to G, and B hold to C sharp, hold to D sharp, half to E, hold to F sharp, hold to G sharp, hold to A sharp, half to B, and I can navigate those notes and see that the 1, 3, and 5 for E are E, G sharp, and B, and the 1, 3, and 5 or for A are A, C sharp, and E, and the 1, 3, and 5 for D are D, F sharp, and A, and the 1, 3, and 5 for G are G, B, and D, and the 1, 3, and 5 for B are B, D sharp, and F sharp. And B, by the way, is a wacky key that many guitar players are like, no, not B. It's almost as bad as B flat. No, don't. No, Mr. Bill. So the point being is that this allows us to kind of go, look, if I can just see these all as 1, 2, 3, half to 4, hold to 5, hold to 6, hold to 7, half to 1, I'm just begin to go, okay, E, hold to F sharp, hold to G sharp, half to A, hold to B, all right, that's the 1, hold to 2, hold to 3, half to 4, hold to 5, oh, E, G sharp, B, then the same thing. You then all of a sudden have the ability to look at all those open position chords, the E string representing that, the A string representing that, the D string representing that, the G string representing that. The only one that's an outlier is the B chord. But the point being is that because it's an open string, if we understand the keys for the open strings on the guitar, it's kind of really the logical thing. So many songs, again, guess what? See that? So that's the one chord. And you begin to start piecing all this stuff together. All right. The last thing I'm going to say is this. This little guy, if you take a look at that chart up there, and you look at the big M's, there's only one spot where the two big M's occur next to each other. That's the 4 and the 5. So it's kind of a dead giveaway. And if you take a look at the 1 and the 2 chord, it's the, oh, no, it's not. It's one of two spots where we got a major chord with a minor chord a whole step above it. That also happens at the 5 and the 6, so you got to watch out for that. The 2 and the 3, only spot where you got two minor chords a whole step apart. The 3 and the 4, it's the only spot where you got a minor chord with a major chord a half step above it. The 4 and the 5, it's the only spot where you got two major chords a whole step apart. The 5 and the 6 we talked about a moment ago, and anything involving the 7, well, you can see. Now, here's the last thing I'm going to say. I said this a minute ago, but let's say I got a chord progression. So if I think about this in the order they occur, this is the first chord, second chord, third chord, and fourth chord. But if you take a look at what was happening with the, well, let's say the second chord and the fourth chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait a second, two major chords a whole step apart. That sort of stuff is hiding in plain sight, and this is kind of like, those would be the 4 and the 5. Because most of the progressions we play and the songs we play don't change key. They don't have some sort of modulation. So when you see two major chords a whole step apart, you're going to go, those are 4 and 5. And the other major chord is going to be what? One ski. All right. I'm done yapping for now. Hang on. Let's go to Big Doppler. Big Doppler. All right. right, hang on a second. Let me see if I can do this without dragging my iconography out of here. There we go. All right. First of all, let's get that over there. Move. There we go. All right. Great to see everybody. Now, as I've mentioned previously, only the YouTube comments pour in here. So I've been saying hi to everybody over on the Tube of You. So let me just jump in over on the Book of Face. There we go. Look at that. We were like, you didn't forget about us. Thank you. Not that you need me to. What's going on, Deanne? Oh, you're in two places at the same time. That's tricky. Eric, what's going on? Great to see you. Thank you. The pleasure is mine, but you are most certainly welcome. Forrest, great to see you. Thanks for that share. I appreciate that. Awesome. Actually, you didn't share. Another person. We had another post somebody shared. Doesn't matter. Thank you for being here. Share or no share. Great to have you here. Good evening. Andrew Bonica, have a great night, Doug and all. Woohoo, Andrew, always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. Even if it's just popping in to say hello, Ski. I love that. Everything's got a ski tonight. All right. Brett, a capo shouldn't be a crutch to keep you from expanding your vocabulary. It's meant to be a tool for different voices. You couldn't get with conventional tunes. And this is the thing, a capo, I've probably told the story a couple of times. I'm a huge fan of Neil Sean's. And when he was playing in Bad English, it was in the period of time just after I was done. It was maybe a couple of years later, after I used to demonstrate for Neil Sean's guitar company. And so, so I got a chance to hang out with Neil a bunch, which for me is like, I have to be careful because I've become a total fanboy, if I'm totally honest, which I try to be, especially here. But the thing is they were capoing because Jonathan Waite's voice is up in the nosebleed seats, right? So to get those big rock chords, Neil had to capo. And I was like, wow, what a cool sound. You're just not used to hearing a Les Paul capoed here for a big rock chord. I was like, okay, that kind of won me over. And it was really cool. All right. I will poke back in on the Book of Face presently. All right. Tube of You. All right. Oh, my word. You guys are some chatty folks. That's good. Chris, always a pleasure. Even though you haven't been around, you have been thought of. Look at all this. Brad, what's going on? Sorry you didn't get the notification. I'm firing YouTube for that. Now I'm going to dock their pay. Brad didn't get the notification for the Saturday show. This Saturday, I didn't go 6 hours. The week before, I think it was, I did a 6-hour live stream show. Yeah, go figure. All right. Matthew, what's going on? Great to see you. Hello. E minor over G. Okay. So I'm not going to take the scrumptious bait of talking about inversions tonight. Tempting, but I'm not going to go there yet. We've talked about it before. Ooh, yeah. This is all right. So let's talk about Bad Doug. I had a buddy that actually he played an integral role in getting me saved, but he couldn't help but in any situation to kind of become the producer. And I'm not great in a worship team setting because invariably I'll hear something like, "Wait a second." I won't point something. It's like, when something needs to be changed, it's not right. I will. Like, hey, can we take a moment and rehearse that tops and tail? Because we either need to do this. I generally don't capo. But when there's a quick, here's the thing, Alan, I know that you know this, but for those that don't know this, when there is a quick transition between songs, not only does it mean that you have to get it over there to the right fret, when it's fast, you don't have a tendency to go, oh, I'm going to do it like this in slow motion, but fast. And the potential to capo in a out of tune fashion is actually nobody's advantage. I mean, let's face it, the sound tech doesn't actually have the guitar up in the mix anyway. But the point being is somebody in their ears might, like the worship leader. So the point being, did I say that? I'm just persnickety tonight. So the point being is sometimes it's really good to just kind of go, that's a really fast transition. Can we add maybe an extra measure and just have a little pad play for a minute while I go to that transition? Because one of the great things about the pad is click, 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 or click, click, click. 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, or whatever it is that you need to do, whatever it is that you need to do. It's always good to let people in on that. People don't realize these are $1,000 lessons people are getting for free right here now. Jem, I love you to death. You are a constant encourager, and I love that. Jem, old friend, he's a wise old soul, isn't he? If it only translates to getting work, that would be great. You know what, Jem? You know, we'll take this up offline, but, you know, you are a free-range fish that has been stuck in a little fish tank, a little fish bowl called Australia for a minute. And God, obviously, though it may not have been the plan that you've got in mind, I think God's totally okay with you being a fishbowl fish. You're swimming around in this tank going, I just want out of this tank. And my advice to you, and I love you dearly, so you know this is from the heart, is I would encourage you to kind of go, okay, I'm in a fishbowl moment. I mean, what is everything that I can learn to make of most of this fishbowl moment? Because I am in the opposite position, and I'm not saying this to brag. My day has been a rocket ride, and I still haven't answered one of the really important emails from this morning. Social media posts. That's actually me being responsible. It takes time. It's cross posting to Facebook and Instagram. I have to change the tags a little bit. There's emails. There's actually I have to respond to a record company about a giveaway. We're giving away a Lincoln Brewster guitar, by the way. Hey, by the way, we are associated with Worship Musician Magazine. Bruce and I were talking. I do sometimes forget to mention this. The new issue is out. It's great. We've got City Music City. Damn. Gosh darn it. Oh. It's a good thing I actually did a social media post. I cannot for the life remember their first name. There we go. Maverick City Music. We've got them on the cover. It's a great interview. Today's post, we got an interview with the producer from Carrie Underwood's Savior album. I mean, it's just kind of like swinging for the fences. And I don't have anything to do with that stuff. I just kind of every so often suggest stuff, but I was all about let's make sure we get some flavor in the magazine. And then, of course, we did that. And after we'd already opted to interview Maverick City, I won't go into more of the backstory, then all of a sudden it was like Maverick City with Elevation. It's like, it's like, God, you're great, So, but we do this, and a big part of what we do is kind of an outgrowth of that. So I just wanted to say that. So the point being is that, we work very closely with record companies. We got a Lincoln Brewster giveaway, Stratocaster. We're not giving Lincoln away, but we are giving away one of his Strats. You can find that in the magazine. So it's just this mayhem. Just more emails than I can respond to. And I can tell you, it wasn't until mid-afternoon that I actually sat down and got a chance to play some guitar. And it's the first time I've really sat down and played guitar in like 4 or 5 days, except for teaching on Saturday. And I was like, I finally got a chance to throw up Easy Drummer and start tracking some stuff with a Squier Telly. The Squier Telly showed up and it's awesome. And enjoy your fishbowl moment because you're able to do things in the freedom of that environment that once the tank days are done. And I say that lovingly and affectionately because I am like a speeding car racing around a racetrack for a good portion of my day. And on days like today, I don't get all the stuff done that I needed to get done. But that's part of the deal. People have grace and it's cool. Gentle decoration, that's a good saying. Thank you. I love that. The gentle decoration part of it is, And the great thing about this is sooner than later, as you begin to start thinking about the instrument a little bit differently, you find it a lot easier to just get into a musical flow because you're not playing the same carbon copy, cut and paste, move the capo, voicings over and over. You know, there's a fine line between style, which is all about the right repetition, the repetition that you opt in for, versus the repetition that you either don't have another choice to, or afraid of playing wrong notes, or just kind of like you don't even know where to start. And that happens. Nothing wrong with it. There are times I end up in that. I end up in sometimes in some wacky key, and I'm like, oh, I'm boxed in. That's one of the reasons why this whole kind of like B, hold the C sharp, hold the D sharp, have to E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, hold the A sharp, have to B. It's like, one of my students, actually, I said, all right, go ahead and recite the key of B major. And he went, B, C sharp, D sharp, E, F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B. And he kind of went, I did that. And he was just kind of like, and it's because we learned to break it down. It's like, it's not like we're memorizing this key that's got all these wacky sharps, because we ain't playing piano. This isn't Cliff Notes for guitar. We're literally going B, hold the C sharp, hold the D sharp, have to E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, hold the A sharp, have to B. Okay. And that's the same thing. The half steps occur between the what and the what. And after a while, basically what you do is you're thinking the scale doing numbers 1, hold the 2, hold the 3, half to 4, hold the 5, hold the 6, hold the 7, half to 1. But you're saying the note names instead of saying the numbers. B, hold the C sharp, hold the D sharp, half to E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, hold the A sharp, half to B. Gets good. Justin, good morning. Oh, good morning to you. Where are you? Are you on Ponape? Where are you? You're you're somewhere out there. Great to see you. Pleasure, my friend. 6 strings and 12 notes, endless possibility. Now that, I love that. Yeah. I've already played 5 million things, so sure, I'll hold Hootie's hand. And they were a good band. All right. Cool. So some of this live done by habit, some of this live done by habit. I think that's a typo, or I'm just not reading you right. Cool. Some of us, I'm gonna read and do what I want to read it. Some of it was by habit, but I didn't have the names. Some of this I've done by habit, but I didn't have the names or the understanding of why. Honestly, okay. So let me just, now that I understand it, ultimately this is all, and this is one of the reasons why with my students, I'm having them sometimes just go E, hold the F sharp. One of the things is you walk up on the other side of the nut, you can feel that that's the first fret. And I played an E and an F instead of an E and F sharp. E, hold the F sharp, hold the G sharp, half to A, hold the B, hold the C sharp, B, hold the C sharp, hold the D sharp, half to E, E, half to D sharp, hold the C sharp, hold the B, hold the A, half to G sharp, hold the F sharp, hold the E. The idea of playing it without looking means you begin to get, let me take the key of E. It's not going to be the prettiest solo in the world. Actually, let me try and make it pretty. Now there I was playing thirds, right? That is, say if I took the 1 and 3 and I played them like either as dyads or but once you get the sound, you begin to hear the chords and those things. So you're totally right. Absolutely. Okay, Deanne, that's a great question. So, heading back to Mr. Piano, come here. So the chord that's at the 7 there, it is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th tone of the major scale, and that is a diminished as opposed to major, minor. It's a diminished triad, and whose notes compared to the major scale, instead of it being a 1, 3, 5, which is major, or 1, flat 3, 5, which is minor, it's a 1, flat 3, and a flat 5, which represents diminished for Locrian. That is a major, Dorian, Phrygian, Lydian, mixed Lydian, minor, and Locrian is the mode that we're playing that's based on the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th tone of the major scale. If I played the major scale there, and I looked at the 1st, 3rd, and 5th tones, and then I played the Locrian mode there, and I looked at the 1st, 3rd, and 5th tones compared to the 3rd and 5th of the major scale, it has a flat 3 and a flat 5. The Locrian mode is a little wacky, but it's simply taking the G major scale, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and starting F sharp, G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp. So because of that, it's taking notes in G major scale, starting off at 7th note, which is why it's the quote-unquote 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th mode, which we think of as the chord that's based on it, as the 7 chord of the key. That is to say 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 1, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. Okay? And if you look at it, literally, everything that's in that what is a major 7 is lowered a half step. It's got a flat 5, 7, and 3. So that is the minor 7 flat 5. So what's that called? What I was playing there, but in terms of just the triads, it's major, minor, minor, major, major, minor, diminished, major. Great question. So now your question: am I playing a 7 where the diminished is? The implications, hey, play a 7 chord, would be like playing a dominant 7 chord, which is, if I took the 1, 3, 5, and 7 a major, and the 1, flat 3, 5, and flat 7 a Dorian, and 1, flat 3, 5, and flat 7 a Phrygian, and 1, 3, 5, 7 of Lydian, and 1, 3, 5, flat 7 a mixed Lydian, and 1, flat 3, 5, flat 7 a minor, and 1, flat 3, flat 5, and flat 7 a Locrian. That gives us major 7, minor 7, minor 7, major 7, dominant 7, which we refer to as 7. So if somebody says play D7, that's what they mean. If they said D major 7, D minor 7, D dominant 7, also known as D7, and then D minor 7 flat 5, we could play the major 7 at the 1 and the 4, the minor 7 at the 2, 3, and the 6, the dominant 7 at the 5, and the minor 7 flat 5 at the 7. So at the 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, you're either going to play a diminished chord, or you're going to play a minor 7 flat 5 as we go from just either playing triads or playing a 7 chord. But there's another little trick ski. You can take the 5 chord and play it. I said I wasn't going to go to inversions, but you opened the door there. So that is to say, instead of playing this 5 chord right here, as we already talked about, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5, 1, 5, 1, 3, 5. Instead of playing the 1 in the bass, I play the 3 in the bass. Well, guess what? This is 5. This is hold the 6, hold the 7. So if I take that 5 chord, but I play its 3 in the bass, it's a lovely substitution for the 7 chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And when you play it diatonically like that, kind of going parallel shapes, it doesn't sound as good as going like this. There it is. Crucified. All right, so. Sorry, I just totally destroyed the song. But the point being is you can hear those lovely melody notes hiding inside the chord. 1 chord, 2 chord. It's a 7 chord, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But what I'm doing is I'm playing that basically taking a D major instead of playing the root in the bass. Taking the 3 and putting it in the bass. This is 1, 5, 1, 3. This is 3, 5, 1, 3. I won't destroy that song any further. Light bulb. Oh, good, good, good. Something happened. Good, good. All right. Oh, Bruce, awesome. Great. You like that when your publisher... Hang on a second. There we go. Woohoo! I'll celebrate that with you. Fantabulous. All righty then. Okay. Good, good, good. That's right. If we make a mistake, we call it jazz improv. That's right. Rich voicings right there. Playing to the Lord, so I try and bring my best. All right. Good, good, good. All right. Cross conversation. Good, good, good. 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 Oh. Look at you. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate that. I need to send you the PDF. Do me a favor. Message me, Doug, at Adolph Agency, and I'll get you a copy of the PDF because you used to be able to extract them off the DVDs, but it's not that easy anymore. Okay. What's going on? Zachary, great to see you. Looks like you're chilling in the pool there. Love that. We are believing we're going to Summer NAMM, and I'm waiting to book my plane tickets. Okay. Oh, that must have been like, yeah, you know, if you actually, they could hear you in the PA. My snide little comment. That's really not nice. I should be modeling good behavior here. Oh, okay. Oh, look at that. Yes. I got one of those from Sweetwater. Sweetwater started doing the empty cart too. It's like, did you mean to leave the 5 things that in your cart? So yes, that is happening. It's a good thing. All right. Good. Yeah. And by the way, if any of you are going to be at the NAMM show, Summer NAMM show, we are going to do our pre-NAMM hang. It's a worship musician hang, and we have some manufacturers come along and kind of support that event. So it's a great thing to do if you're at the NAMM show. And NAMM has made it really easy for worship team members to start being able to attend the show because it's important to them. So we will have more details soon. Awesome. Chris, have a great night. Hang on. There we go. Chris, have a great night. You're probably already gone. Love you, bro. Okay. Good. There we go. Hey, he was ready to scream until I blew the song. But, you know. But that's a great place to it's a lovely substitution for the because we went nah. That's totally a piano thing, but it works like a there we go. He's singing. He's got the iPhone. Hold on, he's got the iPhone. Hold on, wait. There we go. Hang on. Here we go. Wait. There we go. He's got the iPhone out, right? Like Jim's like, yes. Uh, what a great song. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've got to go and take care of some stuff. Let me just poke in real quick on the Book of Face and make sure I have not. Okay, good. Brett, there we go. Brett, I'm watching the playback of me waving my phone like an imbecile. I will be back to watch this again to get the full effect I need to go for tonight. It's 10:30 p.m. here in Ohio. I've been sick from allergies. Ooh, we need to rest. Yes, you do. In Jesus' mighty name, be healed. And take care. May you be abundantly blessed in Jesus' name. I receive that. Thank you. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, with that said, let's close out in some prayer. Lord, it's so funny, sometimes when we're active, we want to be still. When we're still, we want to be active. I guess it's just in our nature, Lord. So in spite of our nature and we must be entertaining at the very least. But we know you love us, and we were wonderfully made and purposefully so. So we have to believe that you knew what you were doing. And so, the moral of the story is you want us to become more like you, and sometimes you put us in situations with others or on our own where we have to sometimes kind of bump into the walls a little bit in the process of figuring that out. But I've never bumped into a wall so hard that what I learned from the process didn't dramatically outweigh than the pummeling I may or may not have gotten from the wall. Lord, I just pray that you're with everybody powerfully this week, that you are present in their lives, you are present in their work scenarios, Lord, and I just pray a peace that surpasses all understanding over everyone and their families and their workmates and their churches and their congregations and the people that we're designed to reach. And I just give thanks for this instrument that is part of your mission. How fortunate are we to be able to pick up the instrument for your cause? Pick up the instrument for your cause. So we just give thanks. We lay our gifts at your feet. We bring them with joy. And I just pray that I'm a wise steward in the things that you put in my hands. And I just pray that I would bring a pleasing offering for you. And I just give thanks for this community, the friendships, and the time we get a chance to spend together. It is precious, and I'm ever thankful and ever grateful. So in Jesus' mighty name, we all said, amen. All right. Have a great one. Much love. And I will see you next Tuesday or beforehand. God bless.